Hello everyone, welcome to Ian's Bricks. Apologies I haven't put a video out for quite a while over the Christmas period. Unfortunately I did get the flu just before Christmas, which means my Christmas was a bit of a washout. I've really not felt great the last week and a half really. I was supposed to go and visit my parents in Newcastle, that never happened, which means I never got to visit the Newcastle Metro Centre Lego store, which I was planning to do in between Christmas and New Year, and I was planning to go to another Lego store as well. So that never happened, so apologies. Those videos never materialised. I'm sure I'll get to those stores hopefully sometime during 2025. But I am starting to feel a little bit better. Today is New Year's Eve. I'm going to be going out tonight, having a little bit of a party, not a big one because I don't quite feel like it yet. And then we hit 2025, and lots of things to look forward to in 2025, which I'll get onto a little bit later on. But I just wanted to talk to you about how 2024 has gone for me from sort of a Lego and YouTube perspective, because I know a lot of people are sort of sometimes quite interested in some of the numbers and figures and statistics that you have from a YouTube channel such as mine. So there are some quite interesting statistics from my YouTube channel for 2024. The first one, which is quite interesting, is that in total I had 576,000 views on my YouTube videos. Now I'm aware that some of those people will click on a video, watch 2 seconds of it, think, oh no, not that guy again, and then click off again. But that's how many views that YouTube have recorded through the year, 576,000. So thank you to all the people that have viewed my videos. Now there's another statistic which is very, very interesting, which is watch time. So this is the amount of time that people actually spend watching my videos, and within 2024 alone, that's 69,300 hours of watch time. So to break that down, that's 2,887 and a half days, which works out at 7.9 years. So even for a smallish channel like mine, it's quite astounding that people are looking at my ugly mug for 7.9 years. It's quite a long time, but that's obviously all the views and all the time that people have spent watching my channel. So thank you very, very much to everybody that does watch my videos. It's much appreciated. So what is my most successful video of the year? Well, interestingly, it's my Lego minifigures series 25. So I think I did this at the start of January, and this was using the Brick Search app, and it was just sort of explaining how people can use that app to scan the boxes of the minifigures, and then that'll tell you what is inside the box. And that's an interesting video because it's one that didn't do particularly great at the start, but it's one that's just gradually got views constantly throughout the year. Most weeks it'll get maybe 100 or so views, and I think I have done another video since then which has been equally as successful. But yeah, 18,500 views just on that video alone. So again, for a channel which I've got just under 7,000 subscribers, to get 18,500 views on one video is pretty good, I think. So I'm quite pleased with how that one has gone. And as I say, that video will continue, I think, just to sort of get regular views. I probably will be doing another updated video similar to that at the start of 2025 once the new Series 27 minifigures come out. Plus also there's been a slight change to the Brick Search app as well, so I do need to do an update video on that at some stage. Subscribers, so I've talked about how many subscribers I've got in total. Throughout all of last year I got 1,850 new subscribers, so thank you to all the people that have subscribed to the channel. If you haven't already, why not? Please do, because it does really help out the channel. Yeah, I'm hoping that those 1,850 people are enjoying the content of my channel. Obviously you get variations, fluctuations. I know throughout December I've not done quite as many videos, so I've not been getting quite as many subscribers, but certainly if I do a video that's been sort of popular, some of my sort of Lego store visits and the retro store visits have been quite popular, and they always seem to get quite a few new viewers as well. So thank you to all the people that have either been subscribing from the start or for a couple of years, or even if it's just been for the last year or a couple of months. It is much appreciated, and thank you very much for your support. Now, one thing I don't really talk about and haven't really talked about is how much revenue do I make from YouTube. So once you get over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can start getting ad revenue. Now, who knows whether I've got it all set up correctly. I could probably do a lot better if I probably persevered and did other things as well. I know there are other streams that you can get. You can do things on TikTok and stuff like that. I've not really gone down any of those avenues yet, simply because I don't really have the time. I am sort of just sticking to YouTube at the moment. But each month you do get a payment from YouTube, normally around about the 23rd of each month, and that's for the previous month. For the ad revenue that you get, and that varies anywhere between about £200 and £400 per calendar month for me. It depends on how many videos I do, how successful those videos have been, also the time of year. You do tend to find that in the summertime, July and August, videos get fewer views than maybe in the spring and the autumn when there's a lot of people, it's colder and people are inside. People tend to watch a few more YouTube videos. So in total for 2024, I've actually made £3,546 in ad revenue. So again, this is why the views and the subscribers and all this kind of stuff does sort of help. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to quit my day job anytime soon. That's a nice amount of money, and it does help in me being able to buy more Lego and do more videos and going to the Lego store quite a lot and all that kind of thing. It's not quite enough to quit my day job just yet. So maybe in a couple of years, who knows? But that's a decent amount of money, I think, and it's just a nice little bit of income to have trickling in, and that's obviously on top of the Lego shows and things like that I do. In total in 2024, including this video that you're watching now, I've done 139 videos. Ouch! That's a lot of videos, and that doesn't include shorts. I did try a couple of shorts earlier in this year, but I found them they weren't really sort of making a lot of money for me. I know they can be quite successful for some people. Maybe I could spend more time doing those, but they're main videos that I've actually done, and so yeah, 139, that's a lot of videos. So if you've seen most or all of those, thank you very much for watching all of those. I also have to edit all of these myself. It is just a one-man show pretty much, so it is me that edits all of these videos, and I know my editing isn't the greatest in the world. I do keep it simple, and the reason I keep it simple is just because, again, I'm doing it all myself, and it just sort of makes it easier to keep the video simple and not to sort of, a lot of people have videos and there's things flashing up all the time and they're heavily edited, and that can take quite a long time. And I think a lot of people have said to me that they do like my channel because it is fairly, I won't say basic, but you know what I mean. It keeps it sweet and simple. I'm obviously of a certain age now, and I think my demographic is more around that age as well, although I do get younger and older people, you know, liking my channel as well, so that's always much appreciated. But yeah, you've got to sort of know your audience, and I'm sure there's going to be more people watching me of a similar age to myself than maybe somebody that's in their early 20s watching a highly edited video with lots of sort of action and things happening with, you know, low attention span and all of this kind of stuff. So hopefully my videos are quite interesting to people, and as I say, I do seem to get a lot of people commenting and things like that, regular people who comment on the channel, so that is always much appreciated as well. Of those 139 videos, 38 of those videos were Lego hauls. That's a lot of hauls. That is basically 3 hauls a month on average. So yeah, it does mean I've been spending an awful lot of money on Lego this year. Now, one thing I haven't been able to do is add up how much I've actually spent on Lego this year. The reason being that my bookkeeping skills haven't been the greatest since about September, when I had a lot of Lego shows, and I would have loved to have done it over the last week or so when I've not been feeling great, but because I've not been feeling great, I've just had no sort of energy to turn the computer on and get my statistics up to date. But that's my job throughout January, is to get all my statistics and what I've been buying up to date, so I can see how much I've spent, because obviously I'll need to keep that information for next tax year when I you know, submit all my details of how much I've been spending and buying on Lego. So I do need to get that up to date at some stage, but that's a job for the future. So I can't tell you exactly how much I've spent on Lego throughout the year, just say that it's a lot more than it was previous year. And I think one of the reasons I've been able to spend a bit more on Lego this year is because I've had quite a few I've done quite a few Lego shows this year where I've been selling my Lego, and a couple of the early ones, certainly earlier in the year, were very, very successful, which I'll talk about in a little while. Going back to the actual videos and things like that, one thing I wanted to see was how many times I've been to a Lego store this year. And it does seem that I go to Lego stores quite often. Now, obviously my local Lego store is Southampton, and I do get to go there quite a lot. I'll normally try and go at the start of each month when there are new sets on display. I am planning to go on the 2nd of January after work. So unfortunately the Lego store in Southampton isn't open on the 1st of January. The staff are getting a well-earned rest day. They do deserve it because they do work very hard there. So I'll be going in after work on the 2nd of January to have a look at all of the new January 2025 sets. As I think there's 100 and odd new sets out, so I'll hopefully do a good tour of the store and be able to show you all of the new sets that are available. But in 2024 I went to Lego stores on 24 separate occasions, so mainly that was Southampton, but I did get to some other Lego stores as well. That included Battersea in London, Leicester Square in London. I also went to Edinburgh in Scotland when I was up there fairly recently, and I also went to the new Bristol Cribs Causeway store opening, which was I think in November sometime. And I went to one international Lego store this year, which was the best Lego store to go to, which is the Lego House in Billund. I am hoping to repeat that trip sometime in the spring, so keep an eye out for a video when I go to the Lego store then. So I am looking forward to going back to Billund to hopefully get some more of those exclusive sets that you can get from the Lego store, and hopefully as well to have a look at whatever the new set will be for 2025, because they do normally release a Lego exclusive set at the Lego House each year. So yeah, 24 visits to the Lego store. That's basically 2 a month, which is quite a lot. And don't forget, I don't live that close to a Lego store. It takes me about 40 minutes from where I live to get into Southampton, so it's not exactly on my doorstep, so there is a little bit of travelling involved. So obviously appreciate that's why I don't go to the Lego store quite as often as I maybe would like to at some stage. One thing that's been very, very important this year has been the Lego shows. Now, I started doing Lego shows back in 2021. I think my first one was the Milton Keynes Brick Festival, and that was not particularly successful in sales wise, but it was my first show. It was just after COVID, so there was all these restrictions. People were still wearing masks and things, and I took a little bit of money from that. But throughout 2022 and more in 2023, and specifically last year, I've sort of increased the number of shows that I've been doing. It does also help that there have been a lot more shows this year, but I think the negative effect on that is because there are quite a lot of shows in the same places as well. There's a couple of sort of big players now with Brick Festival and National Brick events, and they do a lot of shows in the same kind of places, and that can mean that some of the shows can be fairly quiet. But certainly at the start of the year I had a couple of very, very successful shows. So in total last year I went to 15 different Lego shows, varying from the very, very big to the very, very small. Some were more successful than others. As I say, my 2 most successful shows were the first 2 that I did in the year. So the most successful show I had was the Hampshire Brick event, and that was back in the beginning of March of 2024, and that was in Porchester. So that was kind of their 10th anniversary Lego event that they were doing, and they very, very kindly invited me along. Thank you, Tyrone, for doing that, because it was a very, very successful show. I don't think I maybe said at the time, but money wise, my takings wise for that day, I don't mind sort of saying how much I got then. I took just over £5,700, which it meant it was very, very busy for me. There were quite a lot of things on my stall that day which were sort of slightly cheaper. I like at these Hampshire Brick events to have a few sort of sale items and things like that. It was a very, very busy day, very successful, and yeah, it was my most successful Lego show to date. And that was pretty much with, I think I had 3 front tables and I had a bit of room at the back as well. I had a really nice sort of selling area, and it was just very, very successful. I was really the main Lego seller there, which did help as well. But yeah, very successful. And I followed that at the end of April by the very, very successful Southampton Brick Festival. Now, any of the traders that went to the first Southampton Brick Festival in 2024 will tell you it was just a crazy event. It was so busy, just a lot of people. It was the first event within Southampton, and I think people were just sort of really, it was that time of year. People had got a bit of money by then and were willing to spend it as well, and boy did they spend. And again, I only had 2 front tables and a backing table, and that event I took £5,300. Now, both of those totals are my total take-ins for the day. They don't include the costs of the table, the cost of the Lego sets. So that's not my profit, but that's the take-ins for the year. And I always have a look at my take-ins. Now, they were by far my most successful events. And I think as the year went on, I think because there are so many events and the first events had been so popular, the other events weren't quite as popular. And yes, I did still have some very, very good events. I know in Bournemouth back in September, I took over £4,000, and I think at the Haywards Heath National Brick event in, I think that was October time, I did very, very well and took just under £4,000. So there were still some very, very successful events towards the end of the year, but in between that there were some less successful events as well. My least successful event, unfortunately, was the Isle of Wight Comic Con, the Fantasy Con, and I think that wasn't any reflection on the event, because the event itself was really, really good, and it was very entertaining. They had some wrestlers in there, they had some very famous people like Sylvester McCoy doing signings. He was one of the Doctor Who's back in the year. So it was a very, very good event, but from a Lego selling point of view, it just unfortunately wasn't very, very successful. And I think my take-ins for that day were around about £250. So it didn't really even cover the costs of hiring the table and all of the sort of things that go into making up a Lego event. So yeah, some real sort of highs and lows take-ins wise from some of these events. Now, if I could do over £5,000 from each Lego event, I'd be doing them all the time. I don't think 2025 is going to be as successful. I think there should be some good shows again, hopefully, and I think it's all about getting the right sets to take with you to these shows, because I think I've found that a lot of people at these shows do tend to sell a lot of the similar kind of sets that are currently available in stores. So I'm trying to get away from that as much as I can and take sets which hopefully most other people won't be taking with them. There's always going to be somebody that's got a similar set to you or the same set as you. You can't help that. So in total for 2025, looking forward then, I have got 15 shows booked in for 2025. They're all brick festivals so far, and the first of those is actually coming up fairly soon, in about 5 weeks time, and that will be the Portsmouth Brick Festival. That's on the 2nd of February, and then a week later I've got the Tunbridge Wells Brick Festival on the 9th of February, and then a little bit later on in March, which I think is the 23rd of March, I've got the first Bournemouth Brick Festival, which for me is my local event. I always like to get into my local events. Bournemouth, Southampton and Portsmouth really are my local ones, so I do like to try and get into all of those if and when I can. They can be quite difficult to get into some of these shows, but I'm definitely looking forward to 2025. 2024 has been a very, very fun year. It's been a very, very busy year for me. I did quite a lot of shows in and around sort of October, November time. I don't think I'll be doing as many shows in a short period of time as I did this year, just because it pretty much almost killed me. No, it didn't kill me, but I was absolutely shattered. I think I took a lot on. I was working full time as well. During that time, my partner wasn't very well and was in hospital for a period of time. So I was trying to see him in hospital for a week when he was in hospital, trying to do these shows, and it just got a little bit on top of me. And I kind of felt as though I took too much on. So next autumn is a little bit clearer than last year, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be quite as busy. But I've still got quite a lot of shows. They are spread out over the entire year, so I am looking forward to all of those shows, and I'm sure there will be other shows that will come up as the year goes on as well. There's normally one or two more that I sort of manage to get into if I've got a couple of free weekends here and there. But definitely looking forward to 2025. I do hope you enjoyed this roundup of 2024. Keep an eye out for videos in the new year. I'll probably be doing some videos on retiring sets for 2025. We start that whole ball rolling again, where new sets are going to be retiring at the end of the year, and we, as a Lego investor, I play the game of which sets are going to retire, which sets aren't going to retire, and trying to pick the best sets to buy from all of the Lego sets that will be potentially retiring at the end of the year. So keep an eye out for those videos as well. I do hope you have had a good 2024. Unfortunately, the end of 2024 wasn't the best for me. I'm hoping for a much better 2025. Hopefully I won't catch any more flu bugs between now and the end of next year. But that's pretty much it for now. A very happy new year to all my viewers and subscribers. Thank you very, very much for all the support that everyone's shown for this channel throughout the year. It is much appreciated, and hopefully more to come in 2025. So take care, happy new year, and I'll see you in 2025. Bye for now.